Welcome back to What Arty Noobs for General Disturbance. This is an M44, the Tier 6 American SPG, and this one's located on the north spawn of Murovanka under the command of General Anonymous. Yes, it's a player you've probably seen before, and he's taking his M44 for a spin. Game started. Now, he doesn't appear to be moving. Not sure if he's loaded in yet. He will shortly. Yes, he has loaded now. Okay, game started. Now this Arty is based on the M41 Walker Bulldog chassis. It's got a 155mm gun capable of 550 alpha mounted in a swivel bracket in the center of the vehicle, and that enables it to fire over a very wide arc, meaning you can do a lot of damage to the enemy without moving the vehicle at all. You can re-aim at a new target. It doesn't have to pivot the vehicle unless it moves outside the arc. Okay, he's moved over to the west side of the map, and he's taking up a position in this bush. Okay, he's got a 15, well, normally this Arty's got a 17.7 second reload, but I think his reload is going to be a lot less, probably around about 16 seconds, maybe 17 seconds. And he's looking at targets that are in the Magic Forest. He's looking at an IS-2 and a T-52. So there's no targets near him at the moment, so he's having to aim over the other side of the map. And consequently, the flight time of the shell is going to be a lot longer. He fires at the IS-2, and it lands just in front of him. 215 hit points. That target moved out of the way before the shell arrived, but after it arrived, when it arrived, the target moved forward again. Okay, he's loaded again. He's now targeting a P43 Biz, Tier 6 Italian, and he's on fire. He was on fire briefly. We fire a round in and splashes him for 141. The shell went just behind him. Unfortunately, they're not doing so well in the Magic Forest because they're one tank down at the moment, and an enemy tank, a heavy, is turned up at the center line. DK101P, that's a direct hit. Hit the front of the vehicle, 177 hit points off him. Right, now, tank destroyer. This is a Tier 7 Su-100M1 Soviet tank destroyer. Lining it up, dialed out, and round out, and no, he didn't hit it. Okay, we've got a Jagdpanther. That's a Tier 7 tank destroyer. Got heavy armor on the front, but on the rear it's slightly lighter. He's waiting for the reload to complete, and now he's going to hit the side of the vehicle. Fires a round in, and nothing. Now, you might have heard my rant against Circon and Circon's rant against the M44 and other Tier 6 Arty. He was having a little rant saying, why didn't Wargaming nerf all the Tier 6 Artys? Well, with good reason. They're not as accurate as you would think. They're not one-shot machines. They actually don't go where they're aimed sometimes. Okay, aiming is a Jagdpanther. On target, round out. That one did hit the target. 144 hit points, but it wasn't a one-shot. Nowhere near it. I think the reason that Circon got confused is that the alpha damage of the M44 is 550. And if it was to penetrate the target, you would think, well, yes, it would be capable of one-shotting some of these targets, but of course it doesn't always penetrate. Even if the target happens to have light armor, it doesn't necessarily penetrate it. Okay, we've got a batch at 12 ton with very low hit points, and the Type 64. Now, they can be out the game with just a splash hit, but again, doesn't hit them. Going for an IS-2. He's got low hit points. He's down. Now, the Type 64. Can he splash kill this one? Just needs to get the shell near it. Round out. This should be a kill. It is 38 hit points. Now, he didn't need to have a lot of force on that explosion, just enough to shake the enemy tank of its last remaining hit points, and it worked. Now that SU-100M1 has dropped in hit points to 164, and that took off another 147, and now he's vulnerable. He's a one-shot for anyone who can get a shot through his armor. And there you go, he's gone. The kill went to an Achilles, not to an Arty. Jagdpanzer IV. Round out, directly on target, direct hit. 209 hit points, not 550, 209. It wasn't a pen. There you go, Mr. Circon. Now, he will pen this because it's very light armor. Round out. And 220 hit points. It was close, it was a near miss. It didn't hit the target, but that shell from an SU-8 did. And it had enough force to take away the remaining hit points. VK100-01P. And that hit the target and didn't penetrate and only stunned it. Did absolutely no damage. Did you hear that clang? It hit the target but did not pen. Right, it's an IS and he's 100% health. And he's on the back of the map. He's headed this way. We fire a round in. And it lands in front of him but does no damage except stun. And he's being hit by tanks. So we're reloading. Getting ready to hit him again. Round out. Well, it's a near miss. Again, no damage, but it does stun him. And we're picking up stun assist. Now this stun assist is what Wargaming is trying to take away. And if you take away all the stun assists, then the Arty cannot earn as much credits, even if it just misses the target. And if that's the case, then Arty has to look for direct hits on targets to earn enough credits to make it viable. And that means they won't be firing at targets their teammates need them to shoot at. They'll be firing at targets which are isolated and easy kills, like tank destroyers, like the sort of tank destroyer you were driving in the IKV. So you see, by taking away stun assist, you're actually assisting to change the habit of the Arty to fire at targets which are targets of opportunity instead of targets that their team needs to hit. Right, VK100-01P, round out, and it lands in front of him and stuns him only. No damage, no splash damage at all. And you notice how difficult it is to hit because you're firing over a ridgeline and the VK is actually on the reverse side of the ridgeline. That one hit the target and did not penetrate, didn't do any damage, and again it made that clang noise as the shell impacted and only stunned the tank crew. So definitely not a one-shot. And he fires the next one in. It definitely hit the target, but we couldn't see the target at the time, so we just didn't see an explosion. And yet again, he's showing stun. Okay, almost finished. Loaded. Fires the round in, but he was aiming to one side of the VK instead of directly at it. And he's going to have to move now because that VK is getting way too close. There's only two left on his team. Fires the round in and it hits the front plate of the vehicle. In fact, actually, you can see the frontal plate. It's actually had an impact on it. Okay, now he's having to auto-aim at the target because the target's too close. But he's now spotted a Jagdpanzer IV closing in. He's auto-aiming at that instead. Fires a round in and takes it out through the frontal armor. He overwhelmed its armor. But he's been hit by the enemy. And that's the end of the game. The VK got him. So, end of the game. Let's have a look at the end of battle stats to see how well he did. Well, that was an ace tanker for General Anonymous in the M44. He got a Bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. He got 14. A Gore's medal for doing more damage than 10 times the hit points of his own vehicle. And a Confederate medal, which means he hit more of the enemy than anyone else on his team. At least 6 tanks that subsequently taken out by other teammates. And just look at the sheer number of vehicles that he attacked during that game. In fact, the VK... he only managed to get, well, he actually did get 677 hit points of damage on that one. And I think he fired at that one several times. In fact, It's showing 7 stuns against that tank, but it still wasn't enough to kill it. So, not a one-shot, because otherwise if he'd fired at it and got 550 hit points each time, then he would have been out the game after just a couple of shots, not 7. Let's have a look at team score. Well, he did get the highest damage on his team, 2,247 hit points, but the highest score overall, the high caliber, or actually didn't get the high caliber. The VK100-01P managed to get 2,323 hit points of damage, which was more than General Anonymous. The next highest scorer was the Batch Hat 25 ton. He got 2,000, is it 25 ton? No, it's the 12 ton. 2,006 hit points of damage. And when it came to kills, well, it was the Achilles who managed to get the highest amount, along with the Progetto on the enemy team. Both got 3 kills apiece. And then there's a whole bunch of tanks which have got 2 kills apiece, including General Anonymous and that VK, as well as the enemy Arty. If you look at the detail report, you can see he fired 23 rounds. He got 10 direct hits, but no penetrations. So not a one-shot machine, is it? Doesn't get the pen. So it can't do 550 alpha if it doesn't get the pen. He splash damage on 17, damage of 2,247 hit points, of which 1,997 were at more than 300 meters. He received 2 hits from the enemy. 1 was penetration, 1 non-penetration, and 1 hit as a result of splash damage. And that came in from the enemy M44, and the penetration was from the VK, and that finished him off. He damaged 9 of the enemy, killed 2 of them, and did damage assistance of 259 hit points, and stun assistance of 1,347 hit points of 17 stuns. On a free-to-play account, he earned 33,450 credits. He got the Achievements Award because he picked up 2 epic medals in that game. 3,671 for that, for the Gore's medal and the Confederate. And after repair, ammunition resupply, and consumables, he actually took away 17,506 credits. He received 740 XP, 414 for the Achievements Award, took away 1,154 experience points altogether. So I'm sorry, congratulations to General Anonymous for getting an Ace Tanker, Gore's medal, and a Confederate, but I'm sorry I have to keep going on about this Circon thing, but he's totally mischaracterized Arty at this level. He thinks it's one shot. Well, it's not. It's absolutely not. In my considerable experience in Arty, and over 60% of my battles have been in Arty, so I know how to play it, I know how it operates. You just don't get that number of one-shots. It's very rare to see that number of one-shot kills. Indeed, it's almost unheard of. And you'd have to check out our playlists to actually see there are very few Arty Pools medals. There are few, but there are very few. If you were characterizing the M44 as a one-shot machine, you'd see a lot more, but I'm afraid you don't. So I'm afraid you got it wrong, Circon. You got it wrong. Don't worry. All Unicums get it wrong every now and then, and I'm afraid on this occasion you have got it wrong. I'm afraid your Arty bias is letting you down. You are biased against Arty. You dislike Arty because you get hit by it, and that's why you've mischaracterized it. But anyway, we forgive you. If you enjoyed that replay, please give us a like and do subscribe to our channel, and hopefully it'll be your replay that I'll be featuring in the next video.